amanfoɔ sɛ wɔmmia nofoɔ pɛn na sɛ you really appreciate how it feels, the appeal and then the tenderness wontumi nka nkyerɛ me say there is no God who created human beings. The human beings, we evolved from apes. Just say it doesn't make any sense. Nofoɔ is probably the most choicest evidence that there is an omnipotent God. When you can argue with your phones. And then we are not here to get into that argument. We are here because the month of October is actually earmarked as the month for breast cancer awareness. And until we are here to sensitize ourselves. Let's get into it. Yeah, for like we said, breast cancer is one of the most dangerous cancers we have. So, over statistics now, a lot of people are losing their lives because of breast cancer. We need to create the awareness as much as possible. So we know that breast cancer happens when cells in your breast mutate and grow uncontrollably, and it creates a certain mass which becomes a tumor in the breast. So if it is not detected at the early stages, then it spreads to other cells in the body. That is why it is very important that we take note of this particular disease. Now, the early signs and symptoms. If you study your breast closely, you will notice that there is a change in the size or the shape or the contours of the breast. That goes to suggest that you're supposed to pay close attention to changes in your breast. Probably before you take your bath, you're supposed to stand in front of the mirror and then check the size, the shape, and the contours of your breast. And also how your breast appears at any point in time. Even if they are saggy, you should be able to pay close attention to it so that if there is any change in the breast, you would quickly notice it. If you feel the breast, you should be able to feel a certain lump. Usually when it is starting, it will feel very small like a pea. But you will notice that there is something new in there. If it is something you've been practicing for a long time, you would notice it if there is something new. When you are examining your breast, you shouldn't only examine the breast, but the area around the breast. And you would notice that one of the early symptoms also is that there can be a lump or a small groove under your armpit or the area under your arm. And you should be able to do that self-examination closely and then regularly to be able to pick up these signs and symptoms. You will not only notice it in the breast itself, but also pay attention to the nipples, because some of the changes can happen around the nipple area. So pay close attention to the nipples as well. Now you would also notice redness on the skin on your breast. And if it is something that you've been doing for a long period of time, once you pay close attention to it, you will notice changes in the color of the skin on your breast, and that should be an alert for you to seek early attention. Again, when you press the nipples or the breast itself, now you notice that there is a blood-stained fluid or even a clear fluid coming from the nipples. If you are not a lactating mother, that should be an alert for you to pay close attention to it. But having said all this, one thing you should note is that there are some people they will not notice any of these signs at all. But that is why it is important to go for mammogram test. And now it's a special x-ray. Once you undertake a mammogram test, your health expert will be able to detect if there is any growth which has started. If they notice any such growth, then your healthcare provider can take a biopsy tissue from your breast and then take it to a pathology lab for further analysis, and then the care can continue. Now, one thing we should note is that, like all other cancers, it is difficult to tell the exact cause of the cancers. Research has been able to tell us that breast cancer occurs when the cells in the breast mutate and create that tumor. However, the exact cause of such mutation is something that is difficult to tell. Research none has been able to point out the root cause of any other cancer, not just breast cancer alone. However, studies have been able to tell us some of the risk factors. It predisposes you to breast cancer. The first one is age. That one you have no control over. But as you age, you become susceptible to this condition. And people who are aged 50 years plus are more likely to contract this type of cancer. And that is why we need to pay particular attention. even though the age limit is set somewhere around 50 years, you need to take note that a lot of things have changed in our world these days. We are being exposed to so many things, and so for some people it starts at a very early age. And so once you hit 20 years plus, once you are menstruating, you need to pay particular attention. You need to be conducting the self-examination every other day so that you pick up any changes. And then early detection, like we have said, will help your healthcare provider to be able to assist you to go through therapy and then stay alive. The other predisposing factor and our risk factor is sex. One myth about breast cancer is that no, it can affect males as well. We all know that males also have breasts, just like females. The only difference is that a mema, yeah, breast, no, according to said dying foundation, you know, a shall assassin. A ma breast and a twin towers, RPP. The other difference between breast and it's a mema breast, no, her meme boa meditate is here. I said, yes, somehow ya no. Feeling behind her. But a mad, you know. I mean, there are some scientists who have even come up with a research say a mema who watch breast every day live longer. That should tell you, say, no for gang for your president, your vice president, and your general secretary for the day. Or my must say, I can't no more immortal. That is just by the way. And we tend to have this notion, say, breast cancer is only for women. That is a fallacy. But yes, like we say, because men also have breasts, I mean, we are all predisposed to it. That is also a risk factor. And it is sex, but the issue is that women are more predisposed to it than men. And when you take the statistics, I mean, more women have it than men. In men, it is very rare, but there is also the possibility. So we all need to subject ourselves to the examination so that we pick it up early. The other risk factor is family history or genetics. You should note, say if any of your family relatives, say your mama, say your nana bi, unuya bi and now auntie bi within the family are contracting breast cancer pain, then you should take note. It probably means that the family may be a carrier of some abnormal genes, and so you need to take all the precautions necessary. Another predisposing factor is smoking and then alcohol. Persistent smoking of tobacco and alcohol use. We know that they have been associated with a lot of cancers, including breast cancer, and so we need to pay close attention to it. The last risk factor we'll talk about probably is radiation exposure. Yes, so if for any reason you have been exposed to radiation as a therapy for treating probably another condition, then you should pay close attention and then heighten your surveillance on your own body. Now we need to know the stages of breast cancer. At stage 0, no, you know say the disease is non-invasive. That means the cancer cells have not broken out of the breast duct, and then it is easy to manage the condition or cure it at this stage once it is detected. Once you hit stage 1, that means the cancer cells have spread to nearby tissues. Again, at this stage, it is easier to manage the cancer because still, if you graduate to stage 2, then at this point, the tumor is no bigger than about 2 centimeters. And you should know that at this point, the cancer cells have spread to other lymph nodes, probably around the underarm lymph nodes. At stage 3, then you should know that the cancer has spread beyond the point of origin. That is the egusu. Once you hit stage 4, then that is where the problem is. At this point, the cancer cells can spread to the bones, the liver, the lungs, and probably your brain. At this point, your chances of survival is significantly low. So your best bet is early detection, and that means you should make it a point to do self-examination very frequently. Watch this video to know how to go about it.
sure to cover the entire breast and check behind the nipples. Wedges. Starting at the outer edge of the breast, move your fingers towards the nipple and back to the edge. Check your entire breast, covering one wedge-shaped area at a time. You should not lift your fingers while feeling the breast to make sure no area is missed. Whatever method you choose, make sure to cover the entire area.
For more here's our self-examination tips we are modern for feelings no and me some yeah this. But yes, the most important thing is to frequently do the self-examination so that you'll be able to pick up any changes very early and then contact your physician. During this time, one of the recommendations we give to our women is that every now and then, please do well to set those twins free. Man from man for kakra. Ubi wo na fie ye fie ade ye kra no be bra. Some of the brands who you people are selecting these days no so. And nadia shame no. Still trust power. All in an attempt to make the breast look firm. But yes, they will be appealing. As captivating as it may look for we the men, no, you need to put your interest first. Because once setting the free a man from man one here now at the end of the day, no, outside gentility, home cry. In case you have detected something, contacted your physician, and it is becoming increasingly difficult for you to pay through the treatment. There are some NGOs who are out there ready to assist people. One of them is Embrace Society. You can contact them if you are having challenges. They are always ready to support people who are going through the therapy and having challenges financially. And then, if you found the information useful, make sure you share the content with others. Watch other videos on this channel and make sure you subscribe. Peace.